Did you ever wonder how much money Lord of the Rings actually made? In total, they made $3 billion. That's a lot. Did you also know that Lord of the Rings actually released a game in 2011? They actually did. And the profits of the game were around $7 million. It was not a great success. But today we're going to investigate why. I platinumed the game myself, so I could give you the best rating I can. And let's find out what went wrong with the game, or was it just not the time? Let's see. Let's find out.
Of the Great War of the Ring, many songs have been sung and many tales told. The names of heroes like Gandalf the Grey, Aragorn the King, and Frodo the Ring-Bearer are greatly revered, and rightly so. Yet Sauron's grasp stretched much further than the lands of Gondor and Rohan alone, and his forces might have done great evil in the north of Middle-earth, had a handful of heroes not stood in his path. Their stories, too, deserve to be told.
After this amazing little piece of cinema, you find out who is the villain in this game. It's Agandawa. You find out by talking to Aragorn, which is awesome, of course. And 2011 me was shaking in his chair right now because this brings back so much nostalgia. It's just awesome. Then you travel to Fornost and you get to fight your first enemies again. And what is it nice to play old games again. It's just smashing buttons, getting criticals, and I'm here for it. I got my first trophy again. I love it because it was so easy. You just had to revive somebody. Let's go, old games. I think these things are the most recognizable signals from this game, right? Everybody that played this game, you immediately knew what to do, right? After slaying some goblins down in the pits below and getting some trophies, you finally get to the next stage and you see Bellerim for the first time. Just smash his chains and he will fly away. Brother, I just freed you. Why are you not helping me? Why did you fly away? And then this happens. Okay, sorry Bellerim. I won't say that again. He thanks you for freeing him, and then he tells you that the guy you're looking for is in this fortress right now. So of course you believe the eagle you've never seen before, and you go after the bad guy. And the eagle promises to help you, which is nice because you saved his life. You take out some big ass crossbows that can shoot the eagle out of the sky. Because of this, he helps you take out an enormous door. Then it was time for my first troll fight of the game. It was a fun one, it was an easy one, because these kids don't know how to game. Okay, I've been playing Elden Ring and Bloodborne for a long time. This troll stood no chance. I even impressed these little elves. After the fight, you get to talk to the elves and they will help you get to Agandawa. Okay guys, that's an alarm, that's the first hour. I always rate the early game by the first 60 minutes of gameplay. The first 16 minutes were so much fun, because a lot of this was nostalgia, but it just brought me back in time. I'm going to give the early game an 8. But believe me, through the video, the scores won't be this high for every category.
Why, Bilbo Baggins? Perhaps it is because I'm afraid. It gives me courage.
After the first hour, I was very excited to see what the game will bring. I had to kill the first soldier in Agandawar's army. Then after that, I got some more trophies. I had to kill a big ass wraith because this part was so long, guys. But then you get to Rivendell and it's just so amazing to be in the universe of Lord of the Rings. Rivendell, it's so peaceful, it's so awesome. As a cherry on top, you get to see Gandalf for the first time in the game. He is so wise, he's so awesome. And after that, if you look around through Rivendell, you can actually find Frodo. You can talk to Frodo, which gave you a trophy, of course. After this you go to the Ettenmoors region, where you can find and fight a big ass troll, because they attack the eagles, and the eagles are your friends in this game. After that you go to Northernbad to help some dwarves. They got stuck in the mountain because they want to blow up the mountain, otherwise the people are in danger, but you fly them out with your eagles. They tell you where Radagast is, but first of all you get ambushed by one of the soldiers from Agandawa. So you have to fight him, kill him, and then you can continue to Mirkwood, where you have to fight a big ass spider that trapped Radagast. Because he's so thankful for your help, he will talk to some birdies. This character keeps cracking me up, man. Radagast is an amazing guy. The bird shows you that Agandawa is trying to get the help of a dragon. So you go to the dragon, but first you have to fight one of Agandawa's soldiers again. The cutscene didn't load for me on the first time, but you try to get the dragon on your side. Then you find out that Northernbad is under attack and you have to defend them. This was the most annoying part of the game in my opinion, because the settlers are just annoying. Then you have to fight some trolls and then you have to defeat the orc champion. After you successfully defend Northernbad, you have to start the last mission. You have to go right into the heart of Carn-dûn, where Agandawa can be found.
Yeah, the same 3 lackeys who hid behind the elves at Fornost. You are the ones who have followed in my wake, upsetting my plans.
Yes, Agandawa, we did, and we will defeat you. The final boss battle was not that hard, and I found throughout the game that the boss battles were not hard. The normal enemies were way harder than the boss fights. So I took care of him very, very quickly.
Oh, Master, I need your strength. No.
And there my first playthrough ended. But here is where the annoying part of the video begins. To platinum this game you actually have to play through the entire game 3 times. Because on the first time you play it in normal, the second time you can play it in heroic difficulty, and the third time in legendary difficulty. But this happened in my second playthrough. I went into split screen in Mirkwood, that's about 70% into the game. But I just wanted to see how it works and I wanted to try to get a trophy. But when I got back in my single player file, this happened. Yes, I actually crashed my save by going into couch play. Which was very annoying because I was on track to be one of the first people in the entire world to platinum this game. But sadly it was not just my game. Reddit was full of stories of people that couldn't play the game. They bought the game at release but they couldn't play just because it was bugged, they couldn't save, or they can't walk, or the story didn't progress, or they lost their saves. It was a disaster. So I had to wait. I had to wait for Aspyr to bring out the patch. And to be honest, I didn't know if they would ever do it. Because it was a remastered, but as the community found out real quick, they just made it a little bit prettier and playable on the PS5. They didn't actually do anything about the game. So I was worried I could never get this platinum. 3 days later, Aspyr came with the hotfix and it was amazing. Everything worked again and I could continue my playthrough. So I finished the game for the second time and it was pretty easy. The difficulty, I thought it was going to be harder than it actually was. So I started my third playthrough on legendary difficulty. I had a few little glitches that were annoying. It took me like, I think 40 to 50 minutes to fix all of those. But I did this in one run and I did it in 6 hours. But before we get to the end game, let's first rate the mid game. To be honest, a lot of things in this game are pretty repetitive. I know that comes with old games and I personally didn't mind. But there are some points in the game where you think, just hurry up, I don't care about this. And the glitches and the bugs made it very, very annoying at some points, okay? So I give it a 6.2.
Fire. I am death.
The final hour of the game is a pretty amazing feeling because you have to go through it 3 times. The final mission is not that long and you know you're almost there. This is the final piece of the puzzle and then you got the platinum. Because all the other trophies I did while playing, so I just had to finish the game one more time. Legendary difficulty, as I said, it's not that difficult if you know how to use your characters. But before we go on, guys, which character would you choose if you play this game? Or if you played this game, which character did you choose? The elf, the dwarf, or the mage? I'm not going to lie, I did 3 runs with the elf. The elf is just, it's my guy, I'm team elf. But leave it down in the comments down below what team you're on. The only things that can do some damage are these ogres, but if you have your bow on the elf all the way to the max, you do like 20,000 damage with one shot, and they are easy to take out. Arriving at the final boss battle, I knew that the platinum was almost mine. I destroyed him easily as always. I think the final cutscene is such an amazing cutscene in the game. It just makes sense and it ends the game in an amazing way. They really did put some effort in the final cutscene and I love that. So that will boost the score up a little bit. I'm going to give this endgame a 7. But wait, there is more. I have some smaller categories I have to rate first, otherwise I can't give you guys the best rating I can, okay? So you can see them to the right of me, I have to go through them, but we're going to go through them very quickly, okay guys? So let's get started. The graphics get a 7 for me, because I love the old school feel, you still feel like you are playing a PlayStation 3 game, but everything runs and it looks pretty damn decent. The controls get a 6.7. They are amazing, they are great, it's just basic, it's good. But the only thing that could have been better is your attack is on square and your critical attack is on triangle. It feels old school, but in this day and age it would be nice to put it on R1. The storyline gets a 7.5. I love that they included the big names like the Gandalf and Aragorn and Frodo and everything, but it's not another game where you play them. You play a completely different side of the movie. You have your own way, your own adventure in the world. I think that's the best thing they could have done. If you could play Aragorn and those guys in this game again, it would just be another film game. This feels like a totally different thing and you feel like you're involved in the movies, in the story, because you're doing something for Frodo. It's amazing. The character building gets a 7.5 also, because I like the way they build up the characters in the story. Agendaur, you see him, then you have to fight his minions, and the entire game you're pursuing him. I also like how they did the eagle. You have to save him first, then he's going out to help you. Then you're going to slay the giant that is attacking his people. Then he gets injured in the final battle before you have to get to Agendaur and he still gets up. They did it the right way. The bad guy gets an 8 because I am not that into the Lord of the Rings lore and I didn't know Agendaur. But he is just sick. His helmet is sick, the way he speaks is sick, everything is sick. And this is another example where you can see they could have designed the game where you have to go after the big guy, but no, that would be too easy. They said we're going to send them after his right hand. It's so creative, it's so nice, it's so sick. The good guys gets an 8 as well, because yeah, it's just, how can't you give it a high number? Gandalf, Frodo, the eagles, I didn't know I liked the eagles that much, but I learned a lot about them in this game. Just everybody that helps you in this game, it feels right, it feels like the right person are there and you want them there and you want them to help you. The item/weapons gets a 6.5 because it's not really that interesting. The inventory is a mess, to be honest. There are not weapons you want, it's just you get the highest stats, you put it on and you smash your way through the game. It's not like you're looking for a specific weapon or a specific armor type. It's just very basic. So it gets a 6.5. For the flow of the game, I'm going to give my first failing grade on the channel. I give it a 5 because the bugs are just so annoying. And sometimes in the story, you have like enemies that are not necessary. and you have it like 4 times behind each other and you think like, game, come on, I get it, I have to fight, you have to put stuff into the game, but this is getting annoying. So I'm going to give it a 5. Creativity gets a 6 because it was very basic. I like the Lord of the Rings genre, but they did nothing special. You fight trolls, urukais and normal orcs. It's just the things you expect from this game. So it's not very creative above a 6, it's not below a 6 because it did those things well. So it just gets a 6. So all these numbers around me are all the scores I've given this game in this video. Well, I have my own formula of rating games and I applied it to these numbers. But first, if you're still here, you're a legend. Thank you. Means a lot. These videos take a lot of effort, a lot of hours to make. And if you're still here, if you could, please subscribe and leave a like. But this is going to be the final verdict for Lord of the Rings War in the North. A 6.7.